no 4G, there's no 5G, there's no Wi-Fi. There's just the generosity of the community that's created the Starlink and the environment of the bush. So we are full on just before the sun's going down. We're getting our camp out ready and all that kind of stuff, because there's no running water out here. There's certainly no gas stations or food stations out here. It's full on in the bush, and the road to get here was not an easy road, very bumpy road. Surprised that we made it. So we'll just have a little bit of a live stream before the sun is completely gone. We're getting our camp out here. Welcome. Hey Cyro, we're out here in the bush. How's the video quality, Cyro? How's the connection? Any good? Stable? We're connected directly through the stars. 100% bush, 100% Elon Musk, Starlink satellites, mindfulness and detachment. This is the fucking bush. Nothing and nowhere. I bet the stars are full on out here, huh? Really? Oh, I never experienced that before. Oh, that's gonna be great. The bush is in the outback of Australia. They got some solar. This house is like some kind of Aboriginal land property, so we can't stay in there. We're making the tent. In an emergency, maybe we could shelter there, but you can't just stay there freely or loosely. Out here, there's maybe 5 people within 100 kilometers or something. Yeah, I'm gonna turn the password off. Here, let me see. I'll try and type it in. Pole's broken.
The poles split like the fiberglass. It's okay. I've got spare poles, but it seems to be working. See how it's one of the funky? But it's fine. It's still. It's okay. But just be careful. Don't touch it. The fiberglass.
There's absolutely no 4G, no 5G out here. No running water, no electricity. And I don't know what that is. Some kind of Mad Max thing. And this is just going to be a short live stream, everybody, because we're going to be losing the light. So if you have any questions or want to make any comments, feel free. Oh, it's great. Yeah, this is the Starlink donated by Shelley for the trip. And probably more of a rental. We can return it after use, but these Starlinks are full on. And this is just the Starlink Mini. So how you feeling?
Amazing. We have arrived. We are home in the here and in the now.
And we just came from visiting the elder, the bush elder.
Yeah, Reg, what a legend. My new best friend. It was love at first sight.
So 80, he said he's like 85 or something, right?
85, yeah.
85 Aboriginal bloke. No, I said he was very sharp.
Oh, dude. Quick as a whip.
Quick as a
Where's the other one?
Yep.
Yeah, sharp as a tack. Yeah. What a legend. He was sprightly too when he was walking around. Like when he got up and walked, I was like, ooh. Oh, yeah, he's sprightly.
This house is really full on, but the guy who's like the caretaker for it doesn't even stay on it. He says there's some sensitivity about using it. It's a sensitive situation in some way.
Hey, Dr. Rob, can I grab my phone, please?
What is it?
Because you were putting...
You have it. It's over there. It's on the table or something.
Usually they have like a mechanism that turns off how it's lower. But yeah, I don't know.
Oh, there's the sun. There's the sun goes.
It's crazy that would you live out here without a car?
Yeah. Yeah.
Are there mosquitoes out here?
I haven't seen or felt any. Yeah. We've got the 2 jerry cans of water as well in our car. That's very good news. So we've got like 30
Oh,
liters,
yeah.
30 liters there.
I was just saying, we're near a body of water, and
Oh.
mosquitoes breed in water,
Oh, okay.
stagnant water.
Yeah.
So they're probably
Here, how can I help?
right in the tent.
Oh, it should be
You're
okay.
right. And I might use this.
Oh, you could probably plug it into the inverter here.
That's what.
Plug it into the inverter?
Yeah, you can probably plug
Okay.
it into the inverter, yeah.
Give it a try.
It doesn't run all night, you know.
The inverter.
Yeah, like it's a battery solar kind of thing.
So it'll drain out.
It'll drain out, but you know, you get a couple of hours out of it.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
You want to say hello to the live stream?
Sure.
Introduce yourself a little bit.
Hello? Hey, how's it going there?
Where are we, sir? And what's your name?
You're in Arabana country here. My name's Wally B.
All right.
Nice.
Thank you for having
Good
us,
to
mate.
meet you.
Yeah. thank
Nah,
you.
you're having us.
That's right.
That's right.
Yeah.
He's a good man. I like
Thank
this
you,
man.
mate.
Yes. At Albury Creek. You're in Arabana country, Albury Creek.
Sculpture Park.
There's the Mutonia Sculpture Park over there. A lot of ancient history out here. It goes on forever. A lot longer than any of us can remember.
All right. Thank you, mate.
Having a quiet one.
I've got something that you can help with if you want.
Yeah.
In that yellow bag, there should be like the L-shaped metal things that you can just put in the tent so it sticks to the ground.
What is it? In the yellow bag.
There's like these L-shaped metal things in a small plastic sandwich bag.
Okay. This?
No, not this. Yeah.
I think maybe the one over here will need it more. Is it the same ones? Because this is going to be out of the wind, so this shouldn't be jumping around.
Okay. I'll probably set this one up over there.
Okay. Cheers, Moldy Reese cups. Thank you. Hi, David. Hi, Yushir. Hi, Rowana. Hi, Shelly. If we're lucky, we'll be here when the moon's gone, when the moon's not here. I don't see it now, so.
know if it'll go through this thing.
It should be okay with the wind cover. When you're inside it, at least. Maybe get some stuff to put inside it. I don't really know though. This is the bush, so you can't survive out here unless you're a part of a community. Doesn't matter if you got a weapon or you're a bad person or you're a good person, you're gonna need community to survive out here. Doesn't seem as cold as yesterday, does it?
No,
Nighttime?
no, I've been feeling good. Like the perfect temp for me. Oh yeah, compared to yesterday, it's not too cold either.
The spirits are just thoughts in the mind. So try not to be haunted by your thoughts. And sometimes it's good to cry. I don't know how much those gems cost, Moldy Reese's, but if you do want to donate, PayPal is the best way. And we can definitely use the support for this Australian meditation trip, Dharma teaching tour. Anybody who may be inspired to donate, you're welcome. Oh, you got gems or something, huh? Cool. Yeah, I have no idea what the gems are, but that's great. We've got some cheese I think we better eat.
Yeah, totally. And we've got mice in the house, so we've got to make sure everything's like sealed.
Mice live here?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
They got permanent residency.
Oh, that's great. How long have you been living out here?
2 years now, just about. Be 2 years in February or something.
Hmm. And Lee was telling that you're a homeless vagabond, or you've been a vagabond,
That is the truth.
entertainer and performer
Yep.
for a few years here in the bush,
Yep.
or just in
Oh,
Australia
no,
in
it's all
general.
around the country, yeah.
Yeah. You don't get like spooked out or anything by being alone, mostly alone out here?
I really don't, to be honest. No. No, I feel very at peace. I've always lived like off in the bush,
Yeah.
And so in a way, this is actually one of the safer places I've lived in many years because we're on the main road there,
Yeah.
And I know all the people in town. They come and check on me if anything happened, or So
But how'd you learn to be in the bush?
self-taught.
Oh.
Just went out in the bush,
Mm.
learnt it. You pick up things off the friends you make.
Yeah.
But I live in a very white fella way, and all the mod cons, cooker and camping gear.
Yeah.
I don't know how to live proper in the bush really.
But have you been around those dudes that do that still sometimes, or?
I've met people who've lived that way for sure.
Yeah.
If they don't still, but they did back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, you meet different people with different bush skills.
Mm.
Every little bit counts. That's how I think of it.
and you got solar during the day, but then by the end of the night it turns itself off.
Well, the battery just runs low, you know? You
Yeah.
don't want to run the battery too low,
Yeah.
essentially. Yeah,
And this is the Buddha.
Yes,
You know that?
Yes.
Are you familiar much with the Buddhism?
I am, really, yeah. I mean,
Oh.
not in... I'm never practiced myself. Well, you know, even that might not be true. I mean, I've certainly read enough.
Yeah.
Met many people. And I think there's certain Buddhist principles that I align with. I mean, I think they're pretty natural kind of principles, aren't they?
Yeah.
So.
I was a monk for 7 years. I don't know if Lee told you.
Right.
But I was living in like the bush of Myanmar and Thailand and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And following the meditation masters, you know, like the old monks and all that kind of
I
stuff.
think maybe Lee showed me a video of yours.
Yeah, maybe showed.
Yeah,
did some
probably
stuff.
like about 3 months ago.
Yeah.
When I was.
You were throat singing in that?
Yeah.
Yeah. You do that. You sound good.
Yeah, I got right. I tried that.
It's like a didgeridoo.
Yeah, just in your mouth, eh?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that was really cool actually, the video she showed me. Yeah, love that. I'm good.
I bought these for the house. They're like a solar. They're pretty cool. I had them at my party. Oh, this one. Oh, damn it. Yeah. Try the other one.
Thank you.
You can smoke inside?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
This one. Can you just hold that for me?
Fire dreaming here. What do you mean?
Fire dreaming.
Can we smoke inside? There is no inside.
There is no inside. That's very zen.
It's inside outside.
Anybody like a carrot?
I'm good for now.
Okay.
Gracias.
Help yourself, huh?
It's like you're breathing fire. You're throwing up. Anyway, maybe we can string this up at our campsite just tonight. But
How's that powered?
solar.
You press
Oh,
a button and it comes
it's a
flying
button
back.
in today.
Oh, you don't press a button and it comes back?
No, you charge it with the solar panel, or you can USB charge it too.
No, but I was thinking if you like pressed a button like a vacuum cleaner cord,
Look.
and it comes sucking
Oh
back.
yeah, no, you have to line. Look, it's pretty.
It's nice.
Got different functions. It's nice, huh? Yeah.
Nice.
Which do you like? The party? Is it
Rainbows.
party time?
Yeah, the rainbow's nice.
The rainbows?
It's a bit of a party.
Okay.
We got tea bags around here.
Oh yeah, there's decaf. That was made.
Yeah, we brewed you one then.
Yeah,
Oh,
we
this
made
one here, right?
Yeah,
Oh, thank you.
that's
What would you say are the worst parts for you of living out in the bush like this?
Worst parts.
Yeah.
You know what springs straight to mind is hard to get yandi. That's what springs straight to mind. But,
Yandi?
yeah.
What's yandi? Oh, the ganja.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's the old word for it.
Because you can't grow it out here, or
No, you can.
you could, right?
Yeah, you definitely could. Yeah, people do. But otherwise, it's very expensive, and sometimes just not available. It's just not around.
It's probably cheaper than tobacco, though, right? Or no, it couldn't be that.
Still not
Couldn't
cheaper
be
than
that
tobacco,
cheap.
but it feels cheaper than tobacco.
Right,
In a
yeah.
way, it is because you'll smoke that much in a day compared to tobacco.
Mm-hmm.
Probably about the same price now, at least. But yeah, there's not many downsides for me out here, I'll be honest.
It's flat. Do you have a charger thingy in the bob?
Probably.
Oh, here. I don't know. It does. You can.
Yeah, this
Yeah. Do you have that one?
USB-C.
Yeah.
I do have one. Yeah.
Anyway, that's
I
fine.
have one, but I think he's up at that house.
Oh, okay. It's pretty dark out there.
I think there's no moon. I didn't see the moon.
Even better.
No, he won't be up until late night. Yeah.
Really?
We can see the stars better without the moon.
That's the truth, yeah. Actually, I was just sitting under the starlit night last night. It was like I could see, you know.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Once you let your eyes adjust.
Mm.
But we might make a fire out there.
Yeah, that'd be great. Where do you get wood out here? You just scavenge for it, or?
Yeah, the creek beds, you know.
Mm.
But it is hard to come by. We always suggest people bring some wood when they come in, and I forgot to do that. Yeah. Don't feel bad because I didn't. You asked what to bring, and I just totally forgot.
Yeah, we didn't have much room anyway.
No,
but
exactly. Yeah, no, you were full up. Yeah. That's all good. We got some wood enough for tonight. Maybe I can go for a little trip tomorrow. Go for
Yeah,
It's been a while, so it's good.
Have you got oh yeah. Yeah. How exciting. I can't wait to see the stars, and I just can't wait. I'm gonna hold it up. I can actually. I've been telling them about the Great Warrior in the sky.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Great Warrior in the sky.
Yeah, the Great Warrior in the sky. The one with the, isn't that what it's called? The one with the, using the darkness between the stars, the negative space.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can see it here.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if I know the Great Warrior.
What?
I mean, I know the emu.
Sorry.
You're not talking about the emu.
But there's an emu and a Great Warrior in the sky.
I don't think I know the Great Warrior then.
There's both. I saw it here last time.
Right.
Yeah.
There's a duck up there too.
A duck. That's funny because when I met a clown called Puddles the clown, he doesn't speak, and anyway, he has this amazing show and he sings all these really cool like pop songs, but he does it in a white face. Anyway, he's like, he doesn't talk at all, but I went for one of my birthdays and I bought like 20 tickets for all my friends to come, and that was my birthday party, and I actually met Puddles, and he got me up on the stage even, and did a magic trick on me, and then afterwards I met him proper in person out the front, because I was talking to some guy, some American dude, and I was like, yeah, I got my whole family and friends here, and you know, I love Puddles, he's amazing, and he's like, oh, I'll get him, and so he came out, and I was just like yabbering on like I always do, and he leaned in to my ear, and he goes, quack. So he spoke to me, he broke character, but you know, he said quack. Such a clown thing to do. Quack.
This is the real Australia, eh?
You're here now, brother. You made it.
Yeah.
You did.
Yes. The outback.
It's been quite the journey.
By homestead, hut and shearing shed. By railroad, coach and track. By lonely graves of our brave dead. Up country and out back. To where neath glorious the clustered stars, the dreamy plains expand. My home lies wide 1,000 miles in the Never Never Land. Oh,
It's full on, mate. Just as full on as your haircut.
Is it?
I can't say I'm not jealous.
This is normal, isn't it?
I can't say I'm not jealous.
Wow.
You got like a
Ooh.
reverse
Dr.
reverse
Rob.
hair.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's like.
Well, that's a little harsh, isn't it?
Is it?
Yeah.
No, he's got the yak wig, because in
Yak's
clowning,
wig.
in clowning, there's actually like a style of circus clown that is bald on top and hairy at the bottom, and they call it the yak wig. Or the
And they normally wear a wig. See?
yeah, they wear a wig.
But
It's
I was
not
like, I'm not going to wear a wig all day. And I'm a clown 24/7, so...
Do you take offense to that?
to what?
You know, because you were a real clown.
He is
Yeah.
a real clown.
But he's not a professional clown. He's
No,
a
he
professional
is.
performer.
No, he's a professional
Musician, right?
I'm a musical clown.
Okay, musical
Yeah,
clown.
yeah. See, I
Yeah.
busked so long,
Yeah.
and I took note that everybody laughed. You know, a lot of times people laugh when you're busking, so I realised, I must be a clown. You know, they're
Yeah.
laughing. So
Yeah.
no, it was her. It was Lee. She 10 years ago out here, she told me straight up. She said, "You're a clown," and I never actually thought about it that way before.
And I gave you your clown nose and your clown name.
She's my clownspiration.
No, it's a compliment to call someone a clown. It's just, when that was just in context when we had just met, like you kept referring to me as a former clown. This is Lee, the former clown.
Well, I would just
You
say
said-
clown.
no,
I
you
wouldn't
said
say your
former.
name.
You just said this is a former
So
clown.
you were offended by me saying former
No,
instead of just...
first he started calling me Sheila. He's just like
Whoa,
Sheila.
hey Sheila.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what he
Because that's
called
Aussie
me.
way. That's
And
Aussie
she
way.
got on my case. She said,
Yeah, I
you can't
did.
fucking call me a Sheila. And I said,
Yeah.
you're a Sheila.
She
Through
won't
and
be
through.
copping that.
Yeah. But I didn't know what the connotation is apparently, so we don't have that in America.
What is the connotation?
well,
That's what I was trying to ask, but I
okay.
didn't want to push too much.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you right now, the Australian men used it as an insult to the Irish women that came over here
Oh.
because, and they just use it in terms like, oh, there's a bunch of Sheilas, I fucked that Sheila last night. So it's
Right.
a way of,
Because
like,
it's an Irish woman's name.
yeah,
actual
it's
name,
a way
yeah.
of making women faceless and nameless, you know?
Oh.
like
It's like
they're
if you just started calling every woman Dorothy. Fuck
Oh.
this hot Dorothy
so
last
that's why
night.
I took
Oh, wow.
offense to it.
Yeah, fair
Yeah.
enough.
Yeah, I was like, I have a name, you know?
And Sheila people, some women actually have that name. So
You wouldn't want to offend them.
Well, it's like calling people abos, you know?
yeah, that's not too rare.
That's not a good one either, right?
Yeah.
That's not very good.
Yeah.
It's like if you're going to be respectful towards.
That is the equivalent of the N word here for sure.
Really?
Yeah.
If there is
Yeah.
one, that is it. Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's
Yeah.
horrible then, eh?
Yeah, not that they didn't call people the N word too.
Mhm.
People still do, but that was never as much the thing here. There's a lot of words they used, but
Well, the thing that really surprised me when I read it, even though I've already heard about this, and you know people talk about colorism, but I heard about the law in Australia way back when where they forced dark-skinned fellas to just mate with light-skinned Aboriginals
yes,
to breed out the blackness. So, and that's really crazy, but
no, they did.
that's how it was, right? So.
Yeah.
Because the white gene is more dominant.
I'm surprised because you see some pictures of the, old Aboriginals and you'd think, well, if something like that had mated with something like a white person, you'd think they wouldn't look just human, you'd think they wouldn't be beautiful or so, or there'd be something odd to it. But there's just, you look normal, they look human.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe that's some of my bias or something because they say, well, this is like a different species or something almost, and then you see it, but then you
I'll
mate
tell
and
you,
it's beautiful.
I'll tell you, on that note,
Yeah.
Nobody's a different species,
Yeah.
but I will say the Aboriginal person, the genome that the white people have sequenced and all that way of looking at things, genetics, it actually is. The Aboriginal genome is separate to the African genome.
Okay, so it's
So
unique.
It is unique, and so where they say white people and Asian people come from African, and they have that in common, that genome.
Yeah.
The Aboriginal people and African people, they have a common thing way back, but they're like
Spread
quite
yeah.
separate peoples. So they are a very unique people here. That's for sure. That's for sure. There's like, contrary to the out of Africa theory, there is an out of Australia theory.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
And what I think is most likely is a combination of both.
Yeah.
You know? But potentially the African people came from here originally and went over there a long time ago. You know, could be like that. Or otherwise, maybe it goes back so far as to when the lands were joined and
The
there was
land
people
bridge,
back then. You know?
Gondwana land.
Yeah,
Pangea.
yeah. Yeah, well, you know, we could say there was people back then. Either way, there was the common ancestor, which we might not call Homo sapien, but was our common ancestor, you know. And so that connection between Aboriginal people and African people might actually go so far back to pre-Homo sapien, you know, if you believe in all that evolution business.
Where's the dunny? How do you use the dunny out here?
Well, Kumbu or Kudna?
Both. Both
Both?
at the same time.
Both at the same time? Yeah, you definitely want to go to the toilet block over there for that.
That's the toilets over there.
Toilet block over
With
there.
the solar panels on top.
Yes, those little white buildings, yeah.
Wow.
But just Kumbu wherever you want.
Mm. It's kind of seems to me like they did a lot, but they didn't do enough in terms of forming like infrastructure for people to keep living like out in the bush and to live their life the way they wanted to live it, but also have amenities and then be connected, which I think would have been such a better way to do it.
Yeah, but like our old man there was explaining today, that's never what they wanted. They always
Right.
wanted to get the black man off the land
Yeah.
so that they could come in and
Right.
mine it. And
So this is just like an afterthought. The resources or
well, it's more like keeping up appearances.
yeah, right.
Yeah. You know? And really, even that's only because the average person is a half decent person.
Right, yeah.
And so that collective opinion, at a certain point at least, became, hey, we need to take care of these people, you know.
Right, yeah.
But even they wouldn't have done that if it wasn't for the pressure from their voting public.
Halfway
or
people,
whatever.
yeah.
That's only sort of recent history.
It's very recent,
yeah, because before that they were classified as flora and fauna.
Yeah.
The Aboriginal
Wow.
people.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and when they came, they claimed that there were no people here. No people. Just, like you said, flora and
Yeah,
fauna.
what do they call it?
Terra nullius.
Terra nullius.
Unoccupied land.
Yeah.
I just think how different it would be if there, you know, if there wasn't just halfway decent, but people were like respectful of these communities and these peoples, and even if you wanted to take the land or form like a city or something, just having full on respect for those people and trying to somehow, because deals were made. You know, it's not like the people who were already here weren't fair and that you couldn't deal with them, but it just, there's so much exploitation, and you think of how much, not just like surface level culture was lost about like stories and myth and stuff, but just like the subtlety of how they were able to live together and cooperate with each other, and how those values could have been inter-exchanged, and then how much better the society would be, you know?
Or how much better the world would be.
Yeah,
Because that's the
100%.
ancient wisdom of humanity. you
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
It's like when you have a civilization, you know, and they were never willing to recognize it. People still aren't willing to recognize what we have had here as civilization.
Right.
But, like, you know, what? You got to build your house 2 stories before you call it civilization or
Right.
something. What we had here was, like, tens of thousands of years. It's recognized as tens of thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands of years of human culture, continuous.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
unbroken human culture, which is all that lesson, all those learnings, all those stories are like, what is human nature?
Yeah.
You know, and
Yeah.
what is animal nature, and what is the nature of the land,
Yeah.
and how can we best be in the land and with each other? You know.
Well, how I was thinking of it on the drive over here was that these people were so busy living, and I'm sure enjoying life as well, because you can't live if you don't enjoy life, that they didn't have, you know, it wasn't in their idea, we've got to stop enjoying living or just living, you know?
Yeah.
But it seems like now it's almost like everybody is trying to stop living so that they can have some retirement fund or some future experience that's never really accessible to them. And then they're struggling their whole lives to get to this point where they can just enjoy living. But we should be enjoying living full stop.
Today,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's not worth it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it's like that idea some people have that heaven is on the earth, and you just need the eyes to see it. Paradise is all around us. It's just a state of mind, really.
You got cake?
Mm.
Oh, wow. You made it?
My mum made it.
Oh, nice.
Mm. Have a smell.
Smells like dates. Beautiful. Maybe that's dessert.
Are we? Oh, I'm a eat dessert
You're a
first.
dessert
Kind of.
I am too.
I eat
sometimes.
dessert first and then have
But then
dinner.
I get so full.
Yeah, well, I'm a bit. I like to do things
Yeah, go for it,
a bit opposite.
How
That
about
way.
this
You want a plate?
kangaroo steak? Should this
Yeah,
be
maybe
cooked
you
up
could-
tonight?
if
Because it's
you-
been warm.
I've
Could
got
be,
the- I've got
yeah.
the knife,
I'd probably
the
cook it
red
tonight,
knife,
yeah.
and if you would do the
Right, we can have-
honors,
yeah.
you're wonderful. You could cook
You know
the
how to cook kangaroo with it yet?
Aboriginal style on the fire, the kangaroo.
I can do meat.
We could,
We could.
we could.
But he's a fillet. I mean, it's a
I know, but I just need straight on the coals, like the way.
And we
you
got
know.
blue cheese here too. I don't know if anyone likes
Oh,
Bit of
that's
Stilton
his,
over
that's
here.
his jam.
You like that, eh?
love that Stilton.
Okay, great. Well,
Nice.
You know where the plates are?
Over here.
Plates, yeah.
Yeah.
There was some in this green
Oh
bag.
yeah. Oh, do we just?
Yeah, no,
Is that
very
okay?
nice there.
Hmm. I saw Sky. She came past. I wasn't in a. She's so intuitive and wonderful. What a beautiful shining star. I've just haven't, been. I received her in the house and was very hospitable and gave her heaps of food. But I was just at that time needing a bit of headspace, and I invited her to stay at the res where we went, because I just had enough of people and I needed a break,
Yep.
So she just came, but I was, she was so wonderful about it, and I was just really upfront about how I was at that time, and she came and we, broke bread and had a catch up, and then she went off and hung out at the res, and then she went and saw her spirit mother. Yeah, and she was gonna come back. She wanted to bring her spirit mother to meet me. But it didn't end up happening. She wasn't. Yeah, she was. Oh, thank you. But she's welcome. I invited her to come back when Jessie and the kids were there, because she was there last time. Remember, after my
yes.
party, and we'll all hang out. Because Jessie stayed for like 2 weeks,
Right.
up until like a few days ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, before we left, or a couple of days before we left. Yeah.
Cheers.
They came and trashed my house. It was awesome. She was toilet training Varen. Like, she waited until, because, I was like, we got to toilet train him. And then she's like, okay, because it's so much more conducive at my house, because you can just go and whiz on a tree, and it's just like, because she lives in a box,
No. This isn't the woman that I met, is it?
Yeah, Jessie.
She lives in a box?
She does, yeah. Well, she lives in a flat, like in a really shitty neighborhood where you can't really go outside because there's roaming junkies and
Mama makes it boozy.
yeah.
No. Good cake.
But I think Jess is going to come and move in with me.
Oh yeah?
Mm.
No.
That's the plan.
Yeah, well, you did talk about that.
Yeah, well, we'll see what happens. But she's not in a very good position at home. She's unsafe.
Okay.
Mm.
Is there a man around?
Psychotic ex, yeah, like complete psychotic.
A familiar story.
Isn't it?
Yupala's sister, you know. She
Who?
wishes.
Oh yeah.
that
Well,
ex there,
Sky
yeah,
did
so-
say something, but I didn't delve. You know, I just.
This pan, use this pan to cook the kangaroo.
Yeah, go for it, yeah.
So, how's it been for you, Wally B?
It's been good, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been good, yeah. How's it been for me?
Yeah, you've had. Have you had other people coming and staying? Was.
Julian, we had Julian here, yeah.
Mhm.
That was good, yeah.
Who's? Was,
Julian,
Where's
very
he
close to Uncle.
oh, okay.
Yeah.
Our
Known him for-
uncle.
Our uncle, yeah. He's known him for, he knew him for
Oh.
20 plus years. Or
Oh,
something.
nice.
And he lives down Adelaide way,
Mhm.
and he was always over at Uncle's place, you know. Like a bit of a carer, or, you know.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he was very close to him for a long time, yeah.
Mm.
And so he couldn't make it up here for the gathering last year, you know. It was just too soon for him.
That's right. Yeah.
But he finally come up just a couple of weeks ago.
That's very because it was it was a bit of a thing for me too, coming back and
Yeah, exactly.
I had a moment where I was like,
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, that was real nice.
did you try the cheese?
No, I don't think I will have it with the cake.
Yeah.
Strange people here. No. No, I dig it actually. I think it'd be a good combo, but yeah, nobody else staying recently. Sky and Case headed off. There's me and Kuchi out on the land. But it's good like that. I like it quiet.
Yeah.
Yeah, we all like it quiet.
I like the quiet too. I love it.
Now, you've come at really perfect time of year. You know, it's not too hot yet, but all the tourists are gone. So it's perfect.
Can I use the saucepan while we do?
Yeah, sure. There might be,
Another one?
yeah, I mean, go for that one though. I think I left all the other ones dirty, so.
Looks like antique.
Yeah. You might want to wash. Oh, look, you could use this one if it's not too big. That'd be easier.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna make some of this pasta. Anyone else want like a little bit? Yeah?
Yeah, also. Gnocchi, is it?
Spinach and ricotta tortellini.
Whoppa. Nice.
make some eggs as well.
You want us to get in here after the kangaroo?
No, I was gonna boil it in here, but do we have space for two?
No. Room for two on here? Like this?
Well, he's talking about this big pot.
It is pretty big. But if we
Does that make sense?
yeah, this opens up. See if you might be able to. And water for boiling for pasta, you can probably just use this water, this tap here. Yeah, that's
Where's that
bore
water come
water.
from?
This is bore water. Comes from underground.
Oh.
Yeah.
But you don't want to drink it if it's not boiled.
Even if you boiled it, it's too much minerals.
Okay.
Well, we've got two jerry cans of water, like 30
Yeah.
liters almost.
But still,
No,
probably better to
that
use
is-
this for
yeah.
just for boiling.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's
Yeah.
for drinking water and that's for cooking,
Yeah,
cooking and cleaning
Cooking
and
and cleaning,
washing
yeah.
and.
yeah. I mean,
Is
it's good water.
Does it smell like eggs?
A little bit. A little bit. Yeah.
But have you when I went out way out west, they only have bore water out there for drinking and everything.
Yeah.
And
Well,
they
yeah.
they would like Blackall and like dinosaur country and like the step up land. Anyway, they would put the bore water in a open container and put it in the fridge for like 24 hours or something, and then all the gas would escape out of it, and then they would drink it.
Yeah.
And it wasn't so pungent.
Right.
Mm.
Yeah. Well, it's different everywhere. Bore water.
Yeah, right.
Even just like the water from that tap actually is coming from off this pipeline over here.
Huh?
Yeah. But then we've got that bore over there, the bathtub.
Yeah,
So, but even that water compared to this water is a bit different, you know?
yeah.
I'd say this water might be more drinkable.
Well, not all water is created equal.
Oh, isn't it all water's created equal, just some is more equal than others?
Yeah, maybe.
Oh, there's one on the string just there too.
The string?
There's one on the string.
Oh,
hanging
it's the
there.
string.
Tell me about the hot springs.
Yeah, so when we drove out of town just then, you can take a right and we go about the exact same distance as it is to here. 50 k's
Yep.
gets you to Malurna. Malurna, yeah. And there's a hot spring up there. I've not been there, but people have been there. Like, yeah.
You never been up there?
No, I haven't been up there. No. But it's just bore water, and they pump it up. It's not quite a natural hot spring.
Oh, it's not a natural.
Yeah.
Ah.
Or if it was, it isn't now.
Yeah. He did say that the pressure and the.
Yeah. It's all the stuff. They're sucking him dry. They're actually creating a vacuum under the earth.
Yeah.
That's why he's talking about that earthquake and shit.
Oh,
'Cause
wow.
they're sucking it out and creating this big vacuum and then like that, you know?
Yeah, because like earthquakes, that's like usually like tectonic.
Yeah, you need a fault
movement.
line. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and I'm
Tectonic
like,
thing. It's not happening here. No, what it is because they're draining the water.
Out of the artesian basin.
Yeah, and even just out of these smaller basin sort of areas.
Oh, so
Various underground water
like
supplies.
little water pockets.
Yeah.
And that's what a bore is, like a water pocket.
Yeah, well, the bore is the hole.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Into the
Into a basin.
deposit of underground lakes.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
That was
Underground rivers.
yeah, that was incredible how he was saying about the people walking under
Yeah, that path all the way from down there all the way up to the centre. Yeah.
all the way under
Just walk
underground.
Underground the whole way. Yeah. 1,200 kilometres. Or
1,200 kilometres.
must be or over $1,000. Yeah. I mean,
it's like 800 k's to Alice from here, I think. So, at least.
Is it really?
Yeah, I mean, not as the crow flies, though.
Mm.
But from Pupapedia, I think it's 4 or 5. And we're kind of in line with Pupapedia.
Okay.
So, must be at least 6 or something as the crow flies from here.
Mm.
Yeah, that path underground will be long.
Incoming.
It is, eh?
Oh.
Oh, there you go.
No, nothing to worry about here. Wally B here, right? I'll take care of him. I say, what are you doing here? They say, what are you doing here? That's why I don't really say that.
Yeah.
It was all a lot simpler with Uncle here.
Hey?
It was all a lot simpler with Uncle here.
I know.
It's a little more
know.
complicated.
I hear you.
We were under his, we were in his jurisdiction, you know, when he was here.
See, I was so oblivious then. I didn't really understand. You know, I still don't understand. I still don't understand. But I knew that he was in charge. You know, that this was his land.
Yeah.
But I didn't. I had no comprehension of the scope. I didn't even really know who he was. You know.
Yeah.
Until I got home. And then I googled him and I was like, what? Reese, was that with you when we watched the movie that he made, the short film where they're all dressed up in suits and...
Yeah. First fleet back.
Yeah, the first one.
Yeah.
That was unreal. When he was
Did
young.
I show you that?
Yeah, you showed me that, yeah.
Yeah, that's good stuff. Ooh, too good.
Mm.
Yeah, the old firekeeper, eh?
Yeah. I wasn't sure if, like, bringing someone up with, you know, the family, or I don't know the protocol with,
No, you've done just the right thing.
yeah, I hope, I mean...
You've done the thing most people don't do.
Oh,
You've
really?
done the thing a lot of people from here aren't doing.
That's crazy.
No, it's the eldest Arabana man that you're meant to do.
Wow.
From a very particular lineage too.
I could see the family, you know.
You can.
It was so beautiful.
Yeah.
It really was. I was in heaven, like, it was like, it was such a, I just felt such an instant connection.
Yeah.
It was wonderful.
No, I can see that.
Yeah, we both just,
Yeah.
it was so cool, like so unexpected, you know, because I was just like hiding, and then it's like, he's like, oh, I didn't think thought there was only 2 people. And it's like, ah.
Yeah, that was funny.
Yeah.
All right, that's your roux.
What?
Ah, look at that.
Yeah.
Looky there.
Wow.
Go on then. Go on then.
And then when he didn't accept the roux, I thought maybe we'd done a faux pas, because you know how,
Nah, he's just not being rude.
yeah, just like when they can't eat the totem.
Yes. Maybe that's why he's not big enough, I don't know. I don't know. It was not a faux pas anyway.
Oh,
Ah,
he loved the watermelon.
exactly.
He took a photo of it.
Yeah, he loved that.
Now he's gonna eat it.
Maybe that watermelon's his totem.
I'm so shocked by what you just said about how we did the right thing, but people that have come out here, and I actually I'm not shocked, but I'm saddened.
Yeah. Yeah, well, you know, it's you're blessed to have a certain connection that allowed you to do that too, you know?
Yeah, definitely.
Like most people
I know.
just travelling through, they wouldn't know where to go, and if they looked it up, they'd be told to go to the wrong place. So,
Yeah.
and other people feel at odds, you know, with him or his family. So
Well, it's hard. It's because we had you there, so we could,
Yeah, exactly.
you know, it just cut through the.
yeah.
I don't mean to like dissect it or anything. I'm just like
That's good.
debriefing a little bit, if that's okay. It was so impactful to me.
Yeah.
Really,
No.
I love him. I love him so much.
Yeah. Me too. Me too.
I met some of their family when I was here. Remember when we had the burnout and they all came?
Right.
Mm.
Yeah, okay.
And there was a bunch of them.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. Mm. They were all. I'll never forget how flirty they are. You know? And so.
Cheeky.
Cheeky, that's the word, the cheeky ads, yeah. It's funny because when I was in India and I was working with some of the people there and the lepers in the leper colony, because I don't really have, I don't really have a lot of affinity with men, really. And the way that I could relate to them was by flirting with them. But just with my eyes or with my heart, not in a sexual way, but just like being coy. I think it was coy is the word. And that was like, it really helped me to be able to communicate with men. So I haven't had to do that for a while.
How's that? Good?
Yeah.
Is it your first roux?
Yeah.
Wow.
Anyone want any eggs?
You're going to turn into an egg, Aditya.
I think so as well.
You're going to start ovulating.
Whoa. This is a good place for it. It's a good place for it. We all bleed out here.
No, I'd say this is some of the. No, I don't like to fetishize meat eating, because killing unnecessarily, but probably some of the best meat that I've had.
Nice.
Yeah.
No, I hear that. I've never had it, but people say that.
You gonna try some?
No, I can't. No, thank you though.
You vegan?
I'm veggie. Yeah.
Yeah.
I appreciate it though.
Yeah.
What animal does it taste like, or nothing to compare?
I think meat just tastes like meat. But yeah, I don't like to fetishize, but it tastes good.
Very good for you. That's what they say. Really good for you.
Super lean as well.
Yeah.
Do you want to use a light? Or...
Did you say you wanted some eggs, Wally?
I'm all right. Thank you.
Do you eat eggs or no?
No, I do. Yeah. Yeah.
The last time I had kangaroo, I was out here.
Oh, real? Last time? 10 years you haven't had a kangaroo?
I'm not gonna eat kangaroo.
Yeah, right.
I don't really like bite. I'm not really, And they used to bring it back,
Yeah. I used to gut it out here. Skin him.
How long have you been vegetarian?
Raised that way.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
And I eat fish actually these days.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have some fish.
Yeah. But didn't eat. I was full vegetarian until I was about 12, I reckon. And I've never eaten any land animal.
Oh.
Except accidentally.
Yeah.
Sure.
Wow.
I think of it like a pact between me and the land animals.
Have you had any experiences with land animals? Kangaroos or anything? Any interesting? Because I've been hoping to see one.
Yeah, well, I'm
I just saw
surprised
some
you
little
haven't.
ones jumping around through
Oh, you
like a
did?
window
Oh, okay.
in the dark. So I didn't really get a good. And I've seen a bunch of dead ones on the road.
Yes, that's unfortunate. Yeah, well, you may well see some out here. We see them pretty much every day.
But they don't come up to people.
Well, they don't come too close, but they don't stay too far away either, you know. Sometimes they'll come kind of close.
And Lee was saying you do like advocacy work or some activist.
You
You're like an activist.
Oh,
She said
I
you're an
think-
activist.
Yeah, well, I said that we met because you were at Lizard Bites Back,
Yeah, that's true.
and that you were. That was the.
Yeah.
I thought you were is blackfella offensive?
No, that's a person.
That's all right. I thought you were a full-on blackfella Aboriginal activist.
I didn't. I'm
No,
trying not
she. I think she didn't share any extra information to lead me not to believe that. But that's in my
Okay.
mind.
Yeah,
you were
yeah,
like
yeah.
a full-on, you know.
Full black man. isn't
Yeah,
he?
full-on, you know.
They had their own assumptions, and I
Yeah.
could hear, but I just let them make their own assumptions
Yeah, that's good.
because
That's good.
it's not. I'm just like they're gonna have their own experience, you know. It's not really. I purposefully didn't. They were asking me questions, and I did share some stories, you know,
Yeah.
and I did tell the truth, you know,
Yeah.
but I did leave a few blanks, you know, 'cause like whatever. But I think they were kind of expecting to come into some community, and they're like, you know,
Yes.
doing like,
It's
know,
hard to
having
explain
dances,
what's out here to anybody, you know.
You
I
can't,
try
you
to
can't.
talk to like even my dad about it, or you know, and he, no idea. And yeah, when you talk about like a remote town of mostly black people, yeah, you start getting those ideas of like community and
Sure.
like how in the bush people are, or you know, they all just sit around the fire, they half niggity, or you know, like
half niggity.
half niggity.
What's that mean?
Yeah, I think you
Half niggity. I haven't heard that one.
half naked.
Oh,
Half
half
naked.
naked. I didn't know that. Half niggity.
I thought something completely different.
Oh, true. What
Yeah.
do you?
Like, you know how you said abo is like the N word?
Mm.
I thought that's what
Oh.
you meant by half niggity.
It's like,
Sorry, I'm sorry about that. That's a local word. That's a local word. For naked,
we're all learning here
which you know, black people are pretty naked. You know, we
in the heart.
bear the
Yeah.
heart. Yeah,
I felt it today. I was nearly crying.
I seen that. Yeah.
But I had to pull it together because it's like not about me, you know? Not about me, not about me. It was hard. It
Yeah.
was very difficult.
Can you say more about the situation with this house and what's his name? The guy up there?
Our brother Kuchi.
Yeah, Kuchi, and this like the situation that's going on here, and
Well, it's
because I would think if you're staying out here, why wouldn't you sleep in the house and stuff like that? So I just want like more.
it's like well, it's not my house. You know?
Right, yeah.
Obviously.
And I get the idea of what you said, but just if
Yeah.
you can share a little bit more about it, because I'm interested.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of like a good metaphor or something. It's like if you were in somebody's house, and like you might be welcome to stay in the lounge room,
Right,
but not in their bedroom. With
Right.
them, you know.
and it's with
Even
that
if
with the
they,
land.
even if they weren't home, they don't want you to sleep in their bed.
But it's
you know?
with that with the land as well, right?
Well, that's what I mean. Like for me, like the lounge room's out there.
Right.
It's like I'm welcome in the lounge
Yeah.
room. You know, like.
yeah,
But this is, you know, it's an important. This is a very important place for a lot of people. You know, like There's the family who have a very direct relationship with it. You know, the old man who you met today.
Yeah.
Like it belongs to him in a
Okay.
legal way.
This land.
Yes, this land,
property.
and this house,
Yeah.
and sort of this sort of 10. Oh, not even that big. Just sort of area. This big area that we're in, though, the sculpture park and all that. That's all in his name and whatever. But there's a lot of people who it's a very important place for. You know, he talked about Finnis Springs, where he grew up, which is like we're on the intersection of Finnis Springs here. This track that we turned on the driveway here, you follow it up and it takes you to Finnis Springs. It's like 15 k's up there.
Is that water over there? Is it a water hole? Or?
There's a dam up there, and there's a creek that flows sometimes.
Oh, they dammed it.
No, there's like a dam, like a
Natural dam.
no, like a built, like just a, what do you call it?
A billabong.
Not like a dam, like a wall, but like a big
Hole.
square.
Okay.
You know, like a dam.
Yeah.
You'll see the dam here in the morning. Actually,
Okay.
there's a dam here, but just like it's like a big pond, a man-made pond.
Okay. Yeah.
But so they got that up there. I think there is some water holes up there, yeah,
Uh-huh.
but I don't know about them. I've never been up there.
Yeah.
But so it's a very important place to a lot of people because he was sort of telling that story about his grandfather, the Scotsman. He came and married an Arabana woman,
Yeah.
and he created a safe place for Aboriginal people here, you know, where in a lot of other places it was extremely unsafe, you know, and they were being, you know, killed or at least removed from their land and that. You know? So the place he created here was a place that a lot of people came to, a lot of not just Arabana people, but a lot of different mobs come and had refuge here, you know. And so there's a lot of descendants of those people who came from here, who this is like something of a spiritual homeland for them, you know. It's a very it's a, you know, very important place.
Do you think that there's going to be more momentum in this place in the future or more activity? Because I mean, just me coming out here and seeing this, it feels very full on. You know, it feels like just me experiencing this has given me a new idea. Because I'm all about community building and meditation centers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So seeing this kind of environment way out there is really because you wouldn't think about a place like this unless you've experienced it.
Yeah.
So.
No, and there's been a lot of talk, you know, a lot of. I think really anybody who comes here, and especially in a certain way, like you guys have come, but also if you just spend enough time, you sort of get that feeling of like the potential, and you know, there's a lot that can be done, and definitely people who talked about things like that, sort of like not necessarily meditation specific, but like a place for anybody to come and sort of have refuge from the crazy world in a way, you know, and like a place for artists to come and get that peace that the artist needs, and you know, and so there's definitely a feeling for that. There definitely is a lot of momentum, and it's part of that makes it tricky too, because there's a lot of people who'd like to do things here, you know, and
so part of you is you have a lot of reverence for that want from people and trying to be very as respectful of that as you possibly can.
Exactly, and make it like clear that I'm not making any
Taking
claim for myself
about it.
here. Yeah, exactly. Like I'm really just trying to honor our friend who passed away, his sort of legacy and wishes for the place, and his brother who you met today. You know, like I'm just trying to honor the family who I know. You know,
and he Kuchi is a relative of
that's his
the
son.
elder. That's his son.
That's his son.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you'll meet him tomorrow.
It's nice to have that kind of reverence because I think for a lot of people they don't have any connection to that kind of sensitivity. Like somebody owns it, somebody's using it, somebody's not using it.
Yeah, and they think, you know, somebody's not using it, I can just use it.
Yeah, right. 100%.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, whereas, like, and I could easily think that or feel it because the place has gone not used for a long time. Yeah. But it's almost like the more people start using it, the more the people who aren't using it kind of go, hey,
sure.
You know, like that's my place too, and I want to use it, or you know what I mean? So.
Well, it's almost a teaching in a certain way that you're practicing with it like that. That's how I'm receiving it. Like it's a teaching about reverence and respect. Because if I was in your situation, you know, I'd probably be sleeping on the couch or something.
No, but I've done a lot of that.
You know?
I have done a lot of that.
Sure, yeah.
And it's only really recently I've sort of had conflict about that, you know. The only thing that's brought me to this house, I was never the person to come to this house either. There's other people who've been out here with me and with us, and there was a need for people to have the sort of comfort of a house, you know, and that was sort of understood by the old man, you know? And so they were kind of very much welcome to make this a livable space, you know, in that way, because they sort of needed that. And really, anytime anybody else in that situation is here, I'm much happier to camp way over yonder, because I prefer to just be out in the bush, you know. But I only really stay up around here when there's nobody else to look after it too, you know, because we've got a lot of stuff in here, and you know, like you say, people come, even tourists come, they pull in, they just start nosing around, they just open the door. Oh, what's this abandoned place, you know? So, and then they'll just start taking things.
Well, it's very clearly not abandoned. I mean, it's really well
it is
taken
to
care of.
you, but you know, people have that different idea. They see the rundown floorboard or whatever, they just think, oh, it's abandoned. You know, they do think that. But so, and over the summer last year, I did stay out here a lot. You know, in here, I mean. Yeah. And actually, my back went out. I had terrible back pain for like I mean, I was crippled for a month. Yeah. I couldn't sit in a chair. You know? Yeah. I could only lie flat on the ground or stand up.
Were you picking something up, or?
I did. That's when it triggered, but I was already getting stiff, and I think it was just from sitting around too much, you know, not moving enough. Yeah. And so I was getting stiff, and then one day I was over there. I just picked up like a sheet of tin, you know, and it just like a lightning bolt hit me, you know. Wow. And I was out for a month. Yeah. But like I honestly felt like. A part of that was that I ought not be staying up here too, you know what I mean? Yeah. But, this year I'm very conscious about that, and I've sort of just really sealed the house up, and I'm not really up here much at all. Yeah. When Kuchi's here, I hang out up there with him, you know, but if he's not here, I don't really ever go up there either. There's a phone up there, so I go up there for the phone, or you know.
You just go into town for provisions, or?
Yeah, or we go to Roxby, which is like a bigger town. It's the mining town over this way. It's like 120 k's that way down the dirt track. So we just went there the other day for a big shot. Yeah. Or we go to Port Augusta, because that's pretty expensive in town.
Do you want some pasta as well?
No, I'm just gonna stick with the kangaroo. I'm trying to lose. How do you say in Australian, lose a few pounds?
I don't know. Lose a few kilos.
Yeah, lose a few kilos, right?
I'm sure there's some sort of funny.
We have to look in the dictionary of slang.
Yeah, the Fat Income Dictionary.
Yeah.
So you've never tried chicken before?
I accidentally ate chicken one time. I thought it was tuna, like it was a rissole. I thought they were tuna rissole.
Was that it?
I was hoeing in it. Yeah. Your family.
No, that was John and Bex.
Yeah.
Well, they are family.
That's your family.
Yeah, it is.
The water's in the car.
So if you guys need.
I put the water at the front door here.
Okay. I'm gonna get
But
some
there
water.
is, yeah.
Oh, there's some water right there too if you want.
Okay, let me try bushwater.
Rainwater there.
Yeah. Oh, that's Lee's favorite is the rainwater.
Wow. I haven't had tortellini in a while. Cheers, brother.
Oh, good. Have some more.
Yeah, that'll do me.
Okay.
Lovely.
Try a little bit. It's pretty filling.
How long since I had tortellini?
What do you think of Buddhism?
What do I think of Buddhism?
What's your experience like?
I don't know. I've never met an openly Buddhist person who didn't seem like a nice person. But I don't know.
You don't think of Buddhism?
No, I have thought of Buddhism, you know. Like Lisa Simpson, I thought I might have been a Buddhist at one point, you know.
Because
you know at that age when you're looking at all these religions, you know. Rastafari, I thought maybe that's me, you know.
Yeah.
Buddhism. And, that was all before I met Uncle, so... No, but I don't know. I think, like, I think it's a very. It strikes me as a very. I said it before. Like, it's a very in tune with natural principles. You know, so I think it's a pretty good way to be. I think I've heard people make an argument that it has been used by Chinese imperialists to control its beliefs there might be truth to that, you know. But I don't think that's the root of it, you know. I don't criticize Buddhism for that. I criticize Chinese imperialism, you know, because it's a thing of passivity, you know, passivism, you know, and so
Yeah.
it's also a thing of like enduring hardship, you know, and being okay with enduring hardship. And so that's the argument people make, that in communist China and previous just imperial China, it may have been used to an extent to, like, it may have been embraced as a state religion. See, I don't agree with anything as a state religion. And so
That's a
where the
whole-
Chinese
No, I can't.
and maybe other cultures embrace it as a state religion, I think it could be damaging, you know. But that'd be the most controversial or, like, you know, critical thing I can say. But like I said, that's not a criticism of Buddhism so much as the way a government will, you know, wield spiritual beliefs, you know, against its people. You know, and like I said, like, it's like that would even, there's no problem with that passivity were we living in a harmonious situation, you know. But I, within myself, I have to ask the question I constantly do, if like passivity is the path to human liberation from totalitarianism. Like, it's hard to, you know, like, it could be, but it's still a battle within myself of, like, you know, and when I see like a people's, for example, taking up arms, I don't criticize that. If they're taking up arms against a fascist government, like, I'm not going to criticize that, you know what I mean? If I see like African peoples uniting with guns in their hands to liberate their people, like, it's not for me to criticize that and say, oh, you should take a pacifist route, you know? Like, I think the Gandhi thing's all well and good, but it's not everybody's thing. And when people have guns against your children's head, you might be inclined to get a gun yourself, you know. It's just how it is, you know. It's hard to argue. Well, like I say, I would never argue with somebody who's in that position. You know, Palestinians right now, or whoever, who might take up arms, you know, which is fundamentally not a Buddhist thing to do, you know? So I don't know, you know, like, I think it's, like I say, like, I think like a lot of things in a harmonious environment, the principles are beautiful, you know. But where we're not in harmony, it gets complicated, you know.
It's funny you say
Think that about communism. In a harmonious environment, like a small community or what, you know, communist mentality, sharing everything can be beautiful. But then you take it onto a state level, status level, and it becomes a thing that's enforced upon its people, you know.
like socialism.
Yeah, all of it, you know, any of the isms.
Yeah. When we were talking
But it's like Jesus and me too.
Yeah.
Like, the way I feel about Buddha is like how I feel about Jesus, you know.
yeah.
Like I think the lessons they were teaching are good things, you know. Like, I haven't heard word of Christ that I disagree with, you know, and I've not heard word of Buddha that I disagree with, you know. But it's then like, when a state adopts it, like I say, when a state adopts something as its religion, it becomes like a tool used against us frequently.
That passivity that you were talking about, when we were sitting talking to Reg today, and he was, you know, explaining his situation, and I was sitting there thinking, like, what can we do? You know, like, what can we do? How can we help? And coming from where I am now, from when I first came here 10 years ago, when I was like fully activated and, you know, wanting to, you know, just do whatever I could in any way, shape or form, put my body on the line, and but now I'm coming from a completely different heart space and head space, and but I still feel like I don't think that sitting meditating is gonna make a fucking difference, you know. Like, but then I think is the problem is just in my mind?
Because then it is going to make a difference. Yeah.
Yeah, like it's just very confusing for me. I don't have the.
Well, you gotta look at the strength of community and well-informed community. So, the Aboriginal community, at that time, exceedingly strong, but they didn't know what the heck was going on. Kind of like with the viruses that came, their bodies didn't even know what was going on. So being well-informed is good and all, like being a feminist or being, on the edge, the cutting edge of social justice technology. But if you can't be meditative or contemplative in your own mind and settled in your own mind, then you can't create relationships with people that are also settled. And then what you can do together is very limited until you get emotionally dysregulated. It's like you can only go and yell in the street for so long before you're tired out. And then what if nobody even cares if you're in a entertainment economy like we are in now? Everybody's so oversaturated with media and fake shit that it doesn't really get anybody that excited that you're screaming in the street. So I see it as, like in terms of social justice, you build a community where people know how to be at peace and deeply informed, which means not just informed by Western culture, but perhaps Aboriginal culture or Asian Buddhism culture. And then you've got a situation where you can make creative, contemplative, sustained actions that are more impactful and sustainable. More creative. And I think that's really what's needed more than anything else, because now social media can pick stuff up, but when you're just so oversaturated and dysregulated and then you use your anger to do something, there's a lack of depth in that, and you can't be very creative about it, and you certainly can't sustain doing that kind of thing. It's like the idea of this place being a community for travelers or people who are artists or things, that's a good idea, but the moment that you get a few people in here, now one guy's fucking that girl who's involved with him, and nobody has any basis for how to work together, and it completely falls apart so quickly.
Exact scenario is
Yeah.
played out multiple times already here. Yeah. And you're right, it really tears people apart. Tears apart the fabric of that communal thing that you're trying to create, these little...
And then if you're trying to work for the Aboriginal people, then they've looked at, wow, we've got some people who are coming to support and do things, and they've gone and fucked it all up, and they're all involved in their own selfish, interpersonal bullshit, and it's like, now there's a bitterness there.
Yeah.
And then when you're emotionally dysregulated and you're in group, you're looking for someone to blame. So now you're looking for what the Aboriginals are doing or what these people are doing to justify what you're doing. And so my teacher has a meditation center in Myanmar, and that place is full on. So there's thousands of people that live there.
Right.
There's a hospital, there's addiction home, there's homeless shelter. It's tons of poor people, tons of people who could never be anywhere else that are all living there together in this kind of like Buddhist temple. Awesome. And it's totally wild and adversity. There's nothing ideal about it. There's nothing picturesque about it.
Yeah.
But anyway, years back, some wealthy, white people, they donated a lot of money to build this big hall it's called the USA Hall. So they built this big hall for like foreign volunteers. Right. And so for a while, people were coming there and volunteering, a lot of people coming in and going out, and they became like this community. But by the time that it was the most developed, it was also the most like corrupted, where these people were volunteering and helping the people that were like bedridden, and they were doing good deeds, but they're also boozing and smoking and creating all these justifications for why they can act that way because of the problems in the community that they're supposed to be there to support and help with. And they're not even respecting the culture of the people because they're looking for reasons that they don't have to do that.
Yeah.
So, it's kind of disappointing, but it can't, for me when I think about it, it can't make me not be willing to see the potentiality in doing that still.
Exactly.
You know?
Yeah, absolutely.
and not be bitter about those people because they're also just suffering, and that's
Yeah.
the hand that they had at that time.
Yeah, and we're all living in this sort of corrupted world, you know,
Yeah.
to one extent or the other. Yeah, I think the process out here has been about, and we were talking about this on the drive over, like, it's okay for it to be quite a personal thing, is how I feel. You know, like, as much as I'm here with, you know, maybe some great aspirations for the place and, you know, this desire to, like, contribute to cultural integrity here and, you know, and facilitate, like, healing of the land and, you know, these big ideas. Like, as much as I'm here for these big ideas, I'm also just here to deal with all of my own personal shit, you know? And that's what everybody who's come through has sort of been forced to deal with, you know? And it's especially good out here for it because, you know, there's no reception and, you know, you're just off the grid, and even if you're alone or if you're just with a few people, like, you can't escape the mirror, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The mirror's in somebody else's eyes, or, you know, it's just when you're sitting with your own thoughts and, you know, you got to deal with it, and everybody's shadow or whatever comes out, and it has come out for everybody.
We've been going through that just being on the two or 3 day or whatever trip out here.
Yeah, sick.
You know?
Yeah. And that's, like, you got to deal with that, you know?
Yeah.
You got to deal with that first, so... Like,
Well,
you're no good to anybody if you haven't helped yourself.
What I was saying, and not, you know, I've been going through that, is I see in myself, like, how okay all of that bullshit is, real or not real, as long as we can stop and communicate. And being able to go through that bullshit and then communicate from, like, that equality point or that equanimity point, you know, that balance point, that's like the training and development that's going to make a big difference when stuff does come up, which of course it is.
Yeah.
Especially if you want to help more people or be more inclusive to more people.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what I was thinking about, you know, to explain what this is with the live streaming. It's really like an accessibility thing and an inclusivity thing for people to be a part of my life and my journey, but also to be maintaining my personal practice in that.
Yep.
You know, so it's not like I'm trying to be an influencer or get people to do exactly what I'm doing, but that the space is open for them to experience that with me. And then practicing the meditation and using, like, the Buddhist teachings and stuff, it gives people this space to be open. And then when being around here, it's not just that they're watching something on a live stream as an entertainment out of curiosity, but this is actually like their heart is opened to actually being here and experiencing this.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And that can change people's lives because then you realize that you're not alone and it's not just shallow bullshit entertainers, you know, social media people that are trying to get money out of you or trying to get you to buy into some kind of program. You know, so
No, and that's, you know, that's the marvel of this technology, is to allow for that communication of such an individual experience, you know, which is like the intricacies of the individual experience are the nuances of the collective experience, something like that, you know. It's like, it might seem like it's just a focus on that one thing, but when it's like a microscope, the more you look into it, the more you're looking at the fabric of everything, you know. And so yeah, I think it's a blessing to have this ability now compared to even just 30 years ago, you know, for people like when it was just TV networks
That's why I
that could
think
communicate this
that's
way.
why I think there's something in it, because let's say that you not trying to create that or make that be that way, but like let's say that you did have a community here and you did have a full on thing going on that was going well, right? If you had the resources and support, you could be live streaming that for everyone all the time.
Yeah, and we've talked about
You
live
know?
streaming out here. You know, we had the fire burning out here because the fire is a very important thing out here. Culturally, it's fire country, it's fire dreaming. You know, so where each individual culturally has a particular sort of dreaming. You know, might be the kangaroo if somebody's dreaming.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Dreaming is like totem kind of thing. You know, it's like it's.
Is it in the mind or is it?
Well, it's a cultural thing. So, like, traditionally speaking, you would be made aware specifically what your totem is, you know.
What do you mean by totem?
Like, well, it's kind of complicated, I guess, but it's, you know, animal spirit or something. Like the Native American
connection
people have
to it
that
or
similar
something?
thing. Yeah, you know, and like, you know, people would say, like, yeah, I think it's the same for Native Americans. Like they would say, like my totem is the eagle, or you know,
yeah.
the badger, or the bear. You know, and our tribe's totem is this. You know, and so people have that individual totem, but a community or a mob, as we call it, has also its own totem. And so the Arabana dreaming or totem is fire, and this is like the home of fire in the whole land, the whole continent here. And so anyway, so fire is very important. And our friend who passed away, he was a great fire keeper. You know, there's the tent embassy in Canberra, which I don't know if you know.
Tent, like a teepee?
Well, that's how it started, and that's what it is still. Yeah, they got a few caravans, but in Canberra, which is the government capital of Australia.
Right. Yeah, I've heard about that.
So out the front of the old Parliament House, Aboriginal people formed a collective. And created an embassy, you know, it operates like any other embassy, and people are willing to recognise it to one extent or the other as an embassy. But so it is sort of a union of every mob in the country, you know, anybody who wants to be a part of it. And our old friend, he was a big part of that, you know, a big part of the tent embassy, and it's an open place anybody can go to.
Is it a tent? Is it a teepee?
It's a collection of like, you know, tents and
people are living there, like a camping.
yeah, people
out
live there permanently. Yeah, there's caravans there for some of the more permanent people as well, and you know, there's like a big tent with a kitchen in it.
It's
or
like
whatever.
an occupation.
Yeah, it's a permanent occupation. It's been there like 40 something years now.
Oh wow.
Yeah, yeah.
In Canberra.
In Canberra, right out the front of the old Parliament House, and actually. They set up right out the front of it was Parliament House at the time, and they set up right out the front of Parliament House on the lawn, and they haven't been able to budge them since. You know, they've tried over and over again, but they have no. The white government has no authority or jurisdiction, even under their own laws. You know, traditional English laws. You can't just deprive people of their land, you know, like it's just not how it works. And because they never actually went to war with Aboriginal people and never won a war for this land, that's why they would say sovereignty's never been ceded, you know.
Yeah.
There's never been a surrender, you know, so because there was never a war declared, you know. And so they have no leg to stand on, and that's why they can't budge these people when they set up shop.
It's so weird. It's like that 50-50 thing you said about people being halfway good, because the way that it's all gone down, you'd think they wouldn't care about that, or that
You
wouldn't
think
even
they just
apply.
blow them away,
But somehow it can still be.
Yeah, somehow when people are persistent enough, and you know, it's that they're obliged to adhere to their own law to a certain extent too. Like I say, like the way that they've seized this land is illegal under their own law, you know, like under English law. And so, and what it is too, they don't like publicity around it, right? So they don't want to take these people to court, because if they bring these, it's hard to take the Queen to court.
Right.
You sort of need to let her take you to court.
Yeah.
Right, and then you can put it all on the table, and then the judge can do nothing because he's obliged to follow the law as it's written. And when they're not obeying the law as it's written, they got nothing, no leg to stand on. So these occupations happen throughout the country at the moment. In Melbourne, there's been something similar for over a year now. They've been there, and it's a lot about the fire too, because for one reason or another, the Western law has recognised the Aboriginal person's right to make a fire anywhere for cultural purposes. Right. And so when an Aboriginal person makes a fire, it can't be put out. They can't just come and put it out. The police, first of all, have no jurisdiction when it comes to fire in general, because that's the job of the fire department. And the fire departments all around the country have a sort of, in some cases, written agreements with Aboriginal people never to put out their fires. Right. So the police will come and they'll want the fire put out, so they'll call the fireys. The fireys will come and say, "No, we're not putting it out." They'll declare this is a safe fire. This fella said he's the firekeeper and he's keeping it safe, and so they can't do anything. And so that's a big part of what the Tent Embassy is. It's a fire that's been burning for 40-something years.
Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's full on.
Because the fire is a legal instrument, to be honest. It is that traditionally, in a cultural way, but it's recognised that way in the Western law as well. And
It's one thing that my teacher emphasizes a lot, and he's a real full-on elder, from Myanmar. But there's almost like a power in the most disadvantaged people. So it's like if you've got a group of well-bodied people, especially white people or like the majority class, then you can just fucking blow them over with a fire hose, and it's fair, right? Because everybody's able-bodied and stuff. But when you have this kind of horde or this mob of elderly or people with disabilities or Aboriginals,
women,
in this
children,
case, exactly, you can't really do anything. So in Myanmar,
it's a bad look.
It's too bad of a look,
Yeah.
And so my teacher's temple in Myanmar, they've wanted to shut it down like multiple times, but it's become such a mass that if they did shut it down, there'd be thousands of people who wouldn't have anywhere to go. So it's like impossible.
It'd be
to
a problem
stop it.
for them.
Yeah. That's why I have kind of a bitter taste about like people that are, communist or socialist theorists, and there's so much in theory about, and they like fetishize like revolution, but it's so disconnected from like living in adversity and being willing to live in adversity and then go from there. Like I always say to those people, I don't know if you've ever come across this kind of group or these people. I think they're mostly online, maybe some political parties, but they love theorizing about the manifesto, the Communist Manifesto, and all these values. But if you look at them and how they're living, there's no resource distribution going on. There's not even a notion of doing that. Yeah, exactly. There's not even a notion of doing that. And it's like, if that's what you believe, that system can actually work, then why aren't you at least in some way actualizing that now in the way that you can? But it's like they're so privileged, they have such a big head about making this big difference that they can't even make a small difference with what they have, which makes making a big difference, like in the long term. And when you were talking about your mentor, your elder that's passed away, I was just thinking about how, like, to get to this point and also that fire, it's like so many ancestors and elders consistently built it up to that point to where it can now be that. And you can't remove them from that.
And literally it is in that fire built up like that because those ashes, which are considered sacred ashes, they've come from all over the country, from all of these different peoples, they've brought their ashes to that same fire and put those ashes in the fire, and they were potentially from fires that had already been burning for a long time, from old fireplaces, from ashes from their old people, and they brought all that, because for them, and for me, the ashes actually hold a memory, like water holds a memory, Ash isn't just ash, you know.
Yeah, sure.
Ash is specific, you know. Ash from that tree, ash from this tree, ash from this place and that place, you know. And so that story, that, like you say, it's built up where it's all in that fire, you know. Everybody's story that's come to it, and people brought it from all over the world, from your land, from America. They brought ashes, you know, from probably from all over the world, you know. And it's that collective thing, you know. Really, you can tear one man down pretty easily, you know, but it's hard to tear down millions of men all at once, especially when they're not even all in the same place, you know. But so I was saying, the fire is very important, and we burnt it out here. Must have been a good 8 or more months that we
Continuous
we
fire.
burned a continuous fire out here.
That's good, eh?
Yeah. And that was our way of honouring our friend, you know, because he was the big firekeeper.
Yeah.
That was him, you know?
Yeah.
And recognised that way all over the country. And so it was just to be honest, between me and another person who we come out here together, it was just once again, it's that personal thing is also the big collective thing.
Yeah.
I wanted to burn a fire here for my old friend, you know, and so did my other friend who came out here, you know. And so between the two of us and then everybody else who came, there was just that understanding, we've got to keep that fire burning, you know, keep the fire burning. He always used to say that, keep the fire burning, you know. And so, back to that live streaming thing, we've thought about, you know, a permanent Arabana fire, you know, the home of fire dreaming, you know, and we could put it permanent for the world to see, you know, and you can just log on and look at that fire burning, you know, and it's because no two flames are the same. The fire is a magical thing, you know. No two flames are ever the same. It's a continuous living entity, you know. Yeah, what you were saying about people who haven't necessarily experienced that hardship, you know, and they've got the big ideas, but they're not really willing to lay it on the line, you know. That's another thing. I mean, and that you made me think of, like, once again, what you were asking about camping in the house or why I prefer to camp out there. I think that's a part of it too, you know, like people for millennia have lived outside in this land, you know, and it's like, if I'm not willing to do at least that much, you know what I mean? Like, which I am, you know, and really anybody who comes here, they are, you know. But it's being willing to experience what other people are going through, you know.
Yeah, right.
And actually, just when you got here before, Lee mentioned how she got no money right now. She's down to zero, you know. And that was funny for me because my good friend, this one who I come out here with, you know, who burned that fire for a long time, they also have made a very conscious effort actually to bring themselves down to zero, you know, because they, like I do, and like I think a lot of people do, don't really believe in money, you know.
Yeah.
We don't think money's the way the world should operate,
Yeah.
you know. And so, like you say, it's like, but are you willing to put that to the test, you know?
Right.
Are you willing to try to live with no money, you know?
Yeah.
And they did. They successfully lived out here for many, many months with no money, you know?
Yeah.
And just living off donations of food.
Yeah.
You know, we have out the front of the sculpture park there, we have a bucket just says food donations. You know, we don't want money, we just says food donate. People do put money in there.
Yeah.
We get it all together and, you know, distribute it to the correct place, really.
Yeah.
But my friend there, they lived for many months with no money, you know, just living off the generosity and the sharing of the human spirit, you know.
Yeah.
And, like, it can be done, you know, but it's...
Oh, 100% can be done
It
because
can be
there's
done,
so
yeah.
much that we're so post scarcity. Like
Yeah,
there's so
exactly.
much extra around.
Yeah.
But I think
We're just chucking it in the bin.
I think that the donating or the generosity is all about like people with disabilities or people that are like sick and broke and disabled, and so there's this idea that generosity has to be based in like disempowerment rather than it being a form of empowerment for the people who give and also for the people who receive. Because I think about like Lee, who's donated to support me in my journey, and so Lee's needs in some way or another. Of course, we can't share our experience, but Lee's needs are also my needs, of course, without saying. But you can't build that kind of relationship unless there's this practice of generosity that's kind of pushing you past your limit.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's so much more than about money. Money is
Yeah.
just what most people are attached to and most people are fixated on. So that's what they have to start giving at the beginning. That's what they have to work with, because otherwise, what else are they going to give? Because that's where all their attachment about themselves and their self-direction is. And then being able to have this space of mutual support that's just goes without saying is like so much more real and important than our personal desires or our personal life or whatever. Ultimately, of course, we have to take care of ourselves. We can't depend on someone else in that way. But that's what community is all about, is that it's a gift to be able to support each other.
Yeah.
It's a blessing, and it's puts us in this position that's so much bigger than ourselves and our ego. And it's like that's where all the potential for me in community and building community is. Because the scarcity mindset is just so fake, because there's so much going around. There's so much money around, and you hear somebody was, I think the elder was talking about it, or someone, 20 million here and $1 billion there and all. And it's like, where is all that money going? Well, it's going to bureaucracy and all these deals and all these transactional kind of systems that are irrelevant to actually using the money to help others. And anyway, it's like if you're building a road for somebody else, that's entirely different from building a road for you and your community. It's totally different. And then making people a part of a community through their willingness to give, and more so their willingness to self-sacrifice. Because how can I self-sacrifice? How can I sacrifice myself and my possessions and my freedom if I haven't experienced you doing that? And to feel that and to know that. And then it's like, this transactional stuff about, well, they did this and that was for this amount and this, it just, that takes over everything.
Yeah. The accounting.
Everybody's looking around for, their accounting and when they're going to get, paid out from what they've given. And it's like, nature doesn't work that way.
No.
It's too subtle, it's too big, it's too essence. There's too much essence in it.
Yeah.
And then that transaction of fake money or fake relationship or like what you expect to get back from what you give overrides like the blessing that you get from the opportunity to give.
Yeah.
And what else are we going to do? Just sit there and count our money, or just account for all the different things we've done?
Yeah.
All the time we've given?
Yeah.
But that's how everybody lives.
Yeah.
Is that accounting, and then they apply that to all their
it's
relationships.
It's a fear thing,
It's
they're
definitely
afraid,
based in fear.
They're afraid that if I don't hold on to what I've got, I'll have nothing,
Yeah.
But my friend's experience in this time which is still going on, they're still very much, trying to live at zero. That's what they call it, And their experience is like every time they get back to zero, somebody comes and gives them what they need.
Too. Yeah, I've experienced
they
that
share
too.
their last cigarette or their last bit of yandi or their last bit of food. They share their last bit of food. All I've got is this tin of baked beans. No, this kid here can have my tin of baked beans.
Yeah.
And then the next door neighbor hands them a kangaroo tail, and no worries, Like it's just, as soon as you surrender, the world provides,
So I think also that unwillingness and that lack of experience with giving also makes people unhelpable or unreceivable. Like where people aren't able or willing to receive generosity.
Right.
They're
yeah,
they're
yeah. Because there's a shame attached to it. Maybe,
yeah,
too.
there's a shame, or there's like a transactional quality in it that's not computing for them.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, there's something that's supposed to be going on that's not going on,
Yeah.
and it just leaves people kind of perplexed
Yeah.
about the simplest thing of being able to receive help and able to give help as well.
Yeah, and it's a cultural thing too. Like I think somebody told me for the Japanese, it's like if you give somebody a gift, like gift giving, I think is a little bit complicated because there is a sense of obligation. Like if I give you a gift, you'd be obliged to reciprocate.
Well, they're subtle. They've got a subtle kind of...
Yeah, they'd have, But so either way, it's like it's different everywhere you go, you know? Like there is this sort of cultural reality around how we can give to each other. You know? Some places it's, like I think the culture here, the traditional culture, is of complete giving, you know?
Yeah.
Like it's...
Without thinking about it. Without it being...
exactly. Yeah, and without any expectation of receiving anything back or any obligation, you know. But because it's like that, it just happens. It's just constantly, you know, fluid, water moving through everybody. You know, the current.
And that's how my teacher does it in Myanmar, because in the Thailand and Myanmar and like Sri Lanka, with the culture of the monks are going out every day and begging with bowls. So the people as a whole are like passionate about the opportunity to give, to donate, as a foundation of their culture with like the people that they revere the most highly. So that's why I love being in like Vietnam and Thailand and Myanmar, because I can feel that energy, that culture of like this appreciation of generosity that's not based in what you get back for it. Or like, I think there's still some element of that, because it's like you make merit or you make blessings when you give. Like when you do good happens to you.
Yeah.
But it's more like there's this passionate willingness and almost interest for the opportunity to give.
Yeah, and unlike, say, when you walk into a shop and you got to buy a sandwich and, okay, I'm going to get the sandwich, but it costs $6. Like, yeah, there might be in those cultures like a certain sort of like, I'm going to get that merit, that spiritual thing. But it's also, I don't imagine it's taken for granted, like as a certainty, I'm going to have good luck because I paid my idol today or give that money to the monk, you know? Like, it wouldn't be that certainty of the sandwich is $6. Do you know what I mean? It's like, it's a much more open kind of like, you feel like, I will surrender what I've got and I'm sure the world will provide, and you know, but it's not like it's not this like, I need to know I'm going to get it back kind of thing, you know? Which once again is that fear thing. Like, I need to know I can charge $6 for the sandwich so that I can make the next sandwich. You know, like it's the fear of not being able to eat, essentially.
I think it's also a fear of like being intimate with other people or vulnerable with other people. Because if you need something, or if you're in need and you reach out to someone, like how can you be more vulnerable than that? Like I can remember as a kid asking my mom if we could go to Blockbuster, or if we could get a movie, and I would be worried, I'd be fearful in myself, because I was exposing this want or this need, you know, and then the possibility of them saying no.
Refusal,
the refusal.
Rejection.
Yeah. And like in the city, I arrived in Sydney, it was hell. It was a hellscape. I mean, the feeling, the general energy is just like full on, for me, horrible, scary, uncomfortable, just freakazoid. Like I'm seeing all these people out there that just, it seems, and when I'm in Asia, of course, I don't know everybody that I'm around, but there's this sense of a mutual culture based around Buddhism or the values of Buddhism that's very well known and like established. But they're different people as well. They speak a different language, so it's not like we could just sit down and talk about something. But coming into Sydney and being around all these people that look like me or have the full language as I do, but their cultural position or their perspective is just totally shifted. It's like, how can we possibly have such a different view or a different experience? And I mean, that's just how I felt. You know, that was just my energetic feeling. But
Yeah.
because to sit down and talk with somebody like this, I think you have to be sensitive. You have to be open. You have to be raw. You have to be acquainted with zero, with the efficacy of zero. And people in Sydney or in general, I don't think, you know, zero is like for them unimaginable. It's like you go to war to not be at zero.
Yeah.
Whereas actually, it's a gift to be able to be at zero.
Yeah.
It's an opportunity to change your life, you know,
Yeah.
to be opened up, to be vulnerable, and especially to be helped and give other people the opportunity to help you.
You know, I've really been blessed, like, and I don't take it for granted. Not that it's purely like a blessing, you know, it's something I've worked my whole adult life towards, but I'm a musician, you know, and an
Yeah.
entertainer or whatever. And I really exclusively do that on the street at no charge to anybody, unless
Yeah.
they, you know, I'm a busker.
Yeah,
they call
right.
it, you know,
You're a
that's-
beggar.
Well, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't shy away from that. You know?
Yeah,
And
of course.
although a lot of people, when I'm busking, they'll often come. If I'm busking somewhere where somebody normally begs, you know,
Yeah.
they'll come and say, "Oh, it's so nice to see somebody doing."
Because they
something."
don't want you to be
Yeah.
a beggar.
Yeah,
because
they-
you
exactly.
look
They wanna
good
make
and
me
you
this
talk
other
good
thing.
and you have
Yeah.
this performance or whatever. So
Yeah, but for me, it's like I just recognize like I'm able to do this thing. I want to do this thing. This is how I entertain myself. I sit here and play my instrument. I'm practicing my instrument. I'm honing my craft, and it's how I transcend. It's how I get into a trance, and you know, it's like
yeah.
it's this like really like holy thing for me, you know. And so, but that's my blessing, you know. Like I say, and I don't take it for granted. Like, and so somebody who doesn't have that at their disposal, or maybe they even do, but they can't afford a guitar right now, or whatever, you know. Yeah, they're just gonna put their hand out, or you know, or just sit there with a hat on the ground, you know. And like for me, it's the exact same thing, you know. It's like they're doing what they have to offer, you know, like they're giving what they have to offer. And like you pointed out before, to give somebody something is such a blessing to the giver, not just to the receiver, you know. And I think actually the fabric of even still Western culture is partly held together by the charity that does exist. You know, the fact that like it'd be a really bad sign of a society, and I'd say it is a really bad sign of a society, or even just specifically a town, when you can't beg, when you couldn't survive from begging. You know, that would be a really bad situation. That'd be a sign of like a really messed up society or town. You know, if you couldn't get by asking for help. You know, so the fact that in most places we still can, you know, and I put that to the test myself. Like I take what I do, and I've gone to many small towns and you know random suburbs and a Woolworth here, you know, supermarket or whatever, and you know I put my thing out for people. Like I say, always just free of charge, and I've always been able to get enough to eat, you know, always, you know, even if it's literally just somebody giving me the food directly.
Yeah.
I'm always happy for that. But and so I've had this like I say, blessing of like having something socially acceptable to
Right.
sit on the street and do
Yeah.
and engage in that like
Yeah.
give and take, you know. And yeah, it's an eye-opening thing, you know, and it yeah, and like you said about being at zero and the blessing that is, it's like it's something very liberating for me, and this is coming, I think, from a very privileged situation.
right.
But for me to be able to wake up with nothing, you know, not even the money for a coffee and no way to make a coffee or whatever. But
We brought you some coffee.
oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
See, there you go.
Yeah.
But so to be able to wake up, like, you know, in a bush and crawl out of your bush and go and sit on the street and like play my little harmonica and get enough for a coffee,
Yeah.
go get the coffee, come back, you know, bum
Yeah.
a cigarette,
Yeah.
have a coffee and a cigarette, play more harmonica, get
Yeah.
enough for a sandwich, you know,
Yeah.
like that's a real blessing for me, you know, that's
Yeah.
like a real, and I don't take it for granted, like I said, I think it is a privilege, to be honest, you know, like
Yeah.
I know a lot of people can't operate that way, you know, but I think for anybody who, anytime you can surrender to having nothing, it's an opportunity worth taking. You know, like if you don't have dependents, you know, you don't have children you got to feed, or you know, because that'll keep you in a job, you know, or that'll keep you doing whatever you got to do, you know.
I think the willingness to surrender to being at zero makes you more in a position to be supported. And that's, I think, what a lot of people need to experience is being supported and being in a position where you're worthy to be supported. Like for a personal aspect as a person, where you're not at zero because you're a drug addict, and that's how I think to kind of address the privilege. Like you're willing, you're open to be at zero, so that you can detach from everything in your life that's not about this. There's a wisdom in that, and that's like a personal side. But then when it comes to the community, understanding that opportunity to help is always valuable, because we're post scarcity, because there's so much to go around. You know, there's limitless money and resources to go around. It's just that we don't believe that helping or giving or serving others is as valuable as serving ourselves. We don't believe that generally. And I think that's one of the most important beliefs to change and to shift. You can't live tomorrow, you can only live now.
Yeah.
And being able to cut out that stigma of being a beggar or being someone who lives on the generosity of others, that's not based on being a degenerate or being unskillful or being ostracized in some way, but actually the subtlety of your heart, or your own willingness to give, because that's also the higher giving is your willingness to detach. Because it's not just about helping other people or using what we have and give it all away, because I was saying yesterday about if everyone in the community on the live stream, or just a bunch of people got together and brought all their money and resources and sold their house even and stuff and went to India, all that money would be gone tomorrow. So it's not some idealist position about helping everybody. That can be very ego based. That we're going to go and save the Aboriginal people, or we're going to build some things and that's going to fix the problem or pay back for the debts that we have. So it's more about ourselves, and then, like you were saying, and then that being ready to go out, I think. Almost like preparing ourselves for revolutionary situations, if that's your thing, if that's your disposition.
Yeah, it's a funny thing. I think a lot of people in this part of the country, and other remote parts of the country, a lot of people come out from the city or whatever, they want to help Aboriginal people, like you said, but that's such a broad desire. Like, what does that even mean?
It's
very vague. Yeah,
it's egoic. It's about themselves more than anything.
Well, potentially.
Yeah.
But either way, it's so unspecific. First of all, what is an Aboriginal person? We were talking about that today with the old fella there. You were asking him about what is the better word to use, or and it's like, really, it's you want to be as specific as possible, so that's why I say we're in Arabana country, that's where we are, we're not just on Aboriginal land, it's there's no such thing as an Aboriginal person, that's maybe an unfortunate ramification of a lot of people having been deprived of their cultural knowledge, so they don't know which specific culture they're a part of, but like a Wurundjeri person is as international as Chilean person to an Arabana person. Like we're here in Arabana country,
Right.
that Wurundjeri country, which is Melbourne, that's as much another country as Burma or Myanmar. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that's another country
For those people.
for these people here, and for those people there. Like these are different countries. Just because the Western world recognizes them all as just, to be honest, to use some language, that's just like black cunts.
Yeah.
That's black cunts over there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what they're saying.
Yeah.
And they lump everybody in together. They do the same thing in America and with any indigenous peoples. They just say these are the indigenous people. But people have like their own cultural reality that they're a part of. And so the more specific you can be, and that's what I mean. I'm here. I can't even say I'm here to help Arabana people. I wouldn't even say that. I'm literally here, sort of. Getting to know and maybe even becoming a part of a particular family, for the most part. Do you know what I mean? Like not even the whole people, because there's a lot of disparity, there's a lot of different, conflict. So, but it's still, I think it still can be a noble ambition. Like if people are still driven by that, they want to help people. That's, that's a noble thing. They see that the people are downtrodden, and and they see that they're not as downtrodden, at least. And so they want to liberate someone,
But that's tough for a lot of people about being as specific as possible because like if I'm thinking about white culture, I don't really know so much to what to think about. Like growing up, my parents divorced at a very young age. For me, a very young age. And then, their identities were kind of solo. So my dad had his parents and my mom had her parents, but it wasn't like being a part of a broader family system or a cultural system as far as I could tell, as far as I could see it. And then from them splitting, I was staying, just with a single mother, or just with a single father. And then my dad remarried, and then my life was characterized by the deep mental suffering of the person that my dad remarried to.
Right.
And so it's like there wasn't groups, and I always try to tell this to young people, like, because white people or Western people can be so confident about like knowing everything or being in this position of authority about worldview. Like they're super experienced and yet they've never been anywhere. They're super experienced and yet they've never been through any rite of passage. They're super experienced and yet they haven't had a single mentor in their entire life. And so it's almost like that white identity is more built on the capacity to colonize or control or to dominate. And then if you're not fitting into that kind of structure of doing that, maybe because you couldn't or because that's just not your tendency, you're basically just identityless. But not in the Buddhist way of emptiness, but in like this vagueness, this non-specificity about who you are. And then to talk about like becoming a Buddhist, or even I'm always yelling at, because we get a lot of trolls. I don't know what you call them in Australia, but I call them fucking.
Video Lee showed me.
I call them fucking stupid retards, who come in here and it's like there's this immediate appropriation of experiences that they know nothing about. Like somehow they magically know about Buddhism, either that or Buddhism is just like equal to the shit in their toilet.
Right.
The same with meditation or living in other countries or training with like elders, being with elders, right? Like everything is just turned into shit or bullshit. Yeah. And it's like, well, why would that be the case? Why would something that you don't know about at all be something that you have authority over? So that seems to be like an essential part of the I know this maybe is a little bit vague, but the Western culture, the white culture is like this
the colonial.
Mindset. I think it is a colonial mindset.
I don't know about this thing.
But
somehow I'm in charge of it.
Yeah, somehow I have dominion over it.
Somehow I'm superior.
Yeah, but when you actually look at that, like like specifically, that doesn't make any sense at all.
No.
Why that would be the case, you know? And then those people always seem to go back to like disingenuousness or like feeding their own mindset of why what that is according to what they think about it when they don't even know what that is because they don't have any experience with it.
You know, that is, I think, and I've thought about this, it's like the permanent conflict that we've been dealing with here for 237 years, right? Which is that people came and immediately attempted to assert authority, right? Immediately tried to say, okay, hang on, I come because the Queen sent me.
Right.
And the Queen's this real important person where I'm from.
Because I deal with a lot of people. Like, I deal with a lot of people, right? On just coming in and trolling and all kinds of people.
Yeah.
And that culture or that mindset is like so strong. Like, it's so robust. And an element of that is that, and maybe you have some insight about this, but I will be acting full on crazy lunatic, very strange, very unusual. Like, there's no way to put what you're seeing or experiencing into a box. And then maybe I'll go from that to talking about my life as a monk for 7 years. And yet somehow out of these thousands and thousands and thousands of people, maybe one will actually check in to see what the heck is actually going on here. You know what I mean? And for me, I don't get that. And of course, maybe there's some selfish side, like it'd be good to have more followers or more people who want to listen to what I have to say. But there's a part of it that I just don't get about how you could possibly not be curious about something that is for sure outside of your purview.
Yeah. Well, and I think even beyond curiosity, because I think to a certain extent, and that's sort of what I was going to say, is like the person came here and said, I'm important, and I'm this important person, the Queen, they sent me here, so I'm allowed to be here, because that's the boss where I come from. But so then even to the extent that they might have been curious, they were very demanding, and actually still continue to be very demanding that they be told what's going on.
Right.
So it's like I've come from an alien
As
place.
if you could.
Yeah. Well, exactly, right?
Yeah.
As if I could tell you where you are, even if you want to know.
Right.
You know? Like, have you got 50 years for me to tell you these 50,000-year-old stories?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, no, you're not. You want to know about it in 5 minutes. Yeah. You know, in town there, like we had some people come just recently, and we showed them around. There's a museum there, which we might stop in at if we go back that way. But he's got a lot of old artifacts there, and it's a really important place. But so, some very well-meaning, but all completely actually all old white people. They were all, old Caucasian people. They came on a tour sort of thing. And, there is this sort of demand, like they want to know in 5 minutes. They want to know even just in an hour or whatever, like, about this culture. They want to know about this man's life. They want to know about, like, what is Aboriginality. They want, you know what I mean? They want these big, and so these people rocked up on a boat, like I say, 237 years ago, and they wanted to know, if you think this is your place, you got to tell me why. That's what they come and said. It's like, okay, you're saying this, but you got to tell me why this is your place. And it's like, the people here can't, like they first of all, it's like you, like I said, it's like you can't actually, I couldn't tell you if I wanted to, but also like in a lawful way, in the traditional law, I can't tell you what that hill means. I can't tell you.
As if you could anyway.
As if I could anyway, but I can't tell you what our customs are just because you've just rocked up. What a person would need to do in that situation is come and be completely submissive.
Right,
completely surrender, bow down,
Yeah.
and just like sit down on the ground at the fire and like not ask any questions.
Yeah.
But maybe say what you are.
Yeah.
Don't come and ask questions. Come and tell me who you are.
Yeah.
Don't come and ask who I am in my own house.
Yeah.
It's like literally knocking on somebody's door, opening the door, coming in, and saying, "Who are you?"
Yeah.
It's like, what? Get out of my house, bro.
Yeah, it's really strange.
But these people, so generous, they're not even ever really said that. Get out of my house. Like, you know what I mean? Like, to an extent, they've said that, but to a much greater extent, they've just welcomed people in, Even these people who are mistreating them, you know, because that's just that's their own cultural obligation, is to not turn people away. Do you know what I mean? Like, you can't just, like, you know, somebody's come to your house, I got to put you up, you know? And so that's the situation we're in, where people to this day, they're demanding to be told what Aboriginal culture is before they respect it.
Yeah.
It's like, no, you need to come with the respect.
Or even like reverence that's not your house.
Yeah.
Like, for sure, it's
like
not your
just
house.
a normal person when you're in somebody else's house, like, oh, you know, oh, where can I sit? Oh, yeah, sit down there. Oh, thank you. You know, just normal business, you know. But yeah, but you know, but in saying that, it's very slow goings.
Yeah.
But even from the start, I think there were people who were a bit more understanding. You know, like I mean, in a way, I think we were lucky here. A lot of the people who came here were brought here in chains, right? And so a lot of those people, as soon as they got their chains off, they weren't so, you know, like they weren't so violent, you know, they weren't so like, they were like, okay, I know the British are shit, right? Because they brought me here in chains.
Right.
So these people who I've escaped from those chains, and now these people are putting me up at their fire and feeding me. Yeah. Oh, they seem like pretty good people. And so like that, you know what I mean? Like, and like the story the old man told today about his grandfather specifically, it's like there was a lot of people, white people, who came and actually tried to respect and learned how to respect the culture here, you know, and we wouldn't have the situation we're in today. We literally wouldn't be in this house today if it weren't for that kind of cross-cultural sharing that has occurred, you know. And it did, I think it did specifically a lot occur between like the Irish and the Scottish and the Aboriginal people, you know, because the Irish and the Scottish were these already marginalised people themselves compared to the English, you know. But also all of the poor English people, who were, they weren't like the aristocracy of England, they were like peasants, you know, who were brought here for stealing a loaf of bread. But so, you know, like I say, slow goings, but, and, you know, to this day, people do come with an open heart. They do that, you know, and bit by bit, the more people, that's why you asked what to bring, and I just said bring an open heart and an open ear, because that's all you had to do, you know, you could come and sit with that old man and, you know, just be open to whatever he wanted to talk about, and but also, like I said, like be open to, instead of asking questions, like speaking your truth. That's the thing I think the Western person's been really afraid to do, and like to this day, like, and it maybe even almost worse to this day, because people have a lot of guilt. They have the white guilt, you know, and so they feel really bad already when they're meeting somebody, and so it's like, say a racist, like an outright racist. He doesn't want to come and sit down and be honest with this black person,
or be honored by that black person, because
no, he wouldn't like that.
Yeah.
But he, you know what I mean? Like, he wouldn't want to be honest either.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to come and speak his truth, because he knows his truth is like hateful or whatever. Yeah. But everybody, to some lesser extent, they might not be racist, but they are in a white paradigm. They are. Yeah. They were born into this system of white supremacy, you know. So they to what extent they're aware of that, they feel guilt, and so then they have a hard time being honest and speaking their mind, and that, like I say, it's culturally here, like it's understood within the culture, like you don't ask people questions, you don't question people. Like, you know, there's sort of in Western culture, modern contemporary Western culture, it's very much what you do. It's like, it's how you even show respect, is asking questions. I'm interested in you, so I'm asking you, where are you from? And, you know, like, because I'm interested in you, I want to know who you are, you know. And so people, that's nice for them, you know. Between two people who operate that way, that's all good, you know. Yeah. But the traditional culture here is very much about sitting down and listening. Yeah. And if you're going to speak, just say, like, it's like if I want to know what, say for example, I want to know what this person thinks about the mine over there, right? And a lot of people, activists and that, they've come here, and that's what they're kind of here for, is to fight against the mine, right? And so they might sit with an Aboriginal person whose land they're on, and whose land the mine is on, and they want to say, what do you think about the mine, you know? But instead, you'd be much better to say what you think about the mine. Yeah. Don't come and ask what he thinks about the mine. Yeah. Come and tell him what you think about the mine. That's how you put yourself on the line. You know.
What do you think the praxis of that is, or the principle of that is for Aboriginal? Because I can also relate to. I feel like more like that myself. Like some people come in and ask, what's going on here, or who are you, or how are you? Even how are you feeling today? For me, is kind of, I'm feeling fucking full on. I'm living my life. Look at me. Receive me, experience me. How how do I feel? It's really stupid when people ask me a question like that, unless they're my friends or somebody that I know. So I'm wondering what do you think the philosophy or the background of culture is where asking questions like that is kind of irreverent or irrelevant in a certain way?
It's hard to say. I mean, I think for me, the benefit of it has been playing out in my engaging with that practice. Like when you sit down with, especially an elder, and it is culturally, it's especially with elders that you don't put questions to them.
Yeah.
Somebody younger than you might put a question to directly.
But then for white people, everybody is. We don't have elders generally.
No,
so
we don't respect our elders.
Yeah, you don't
that's
respect
the
our
truth.
elders.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
It's better to say that way.
Yeah. No,
So then
well,
everybody is your underling in a certain sense.
Yeah, or at least you're equal.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone
is
is under you or equal to you, and that's for sure.
Yeah. And so you feel fine just interrogating them as to their life's purpose or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, and so the benefit for me has just been, like, it's just played out. Like, when I, like I said, like when instead of asking a question, I express my opinion on a topic, then, like, the person is just naturally inclined, like any person, and this isn't just with Aboriginal people, like I'm saying, this is like a principle I've taken into the world, and like when I sit with any person and express my opinion on a topic, they'll be inclined, in my experience, to open themselves up and talk about their experience on the thing, like just because that's what I'm doing, and so it tends to be reciprocated, but like the more you ask and ask and ask, like the less you'll get, like essentially. But yeah, as to like why that's such an integrated cultural practice, I think that goes back to what I mentioned.
Maybe it's about the elder, the culture of having elders that you respect, where you don't just go on asking them questions like that, but more so you go to them, and when you're around them, it's your opportunity to share, not to get something from them, because their presence itself is an offering. Yep. Your opportunity of being with them is an offering.
Yeah. Any little thing that they're willing to share with you is like a great honor.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, and I think it's like I said. I think I said earlier today where what we have in this land and in other places in the world is these ancient traditions and ancient understandings of human nature, and so, through eons, I think it's just been deciphered that not interrogating people is a good way to be, and I'm using that, it might sound like I'm using that word strongly, but, it is interrogative to ask, hey, what's your name, and, this is the first thing people ask you. What's your name? Where you're from? What do you do? It's like,
what's your gender?
Yeah, what's your gender? Sure, yeah. Well, they just decide that one for you.
Yeah.
But yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of cultural practices in this land that are just,
I don't have enough energy. I can't figure out how to turn the stove on. Do you know how to turn it on? Yeah, to boil the water.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I just can't. I can't.
You've been doing so much driving because both of us, we don't drive manual, so
true. I wondered about that.
Yeah, it's just been
good
driving.
But then at the end of the day, I'm just like completely fatigued. And then I hit a point like now where I can't actually move.
Yeah.
And my brain goes a bit fuzzy. But I just really want tea, but I can't make it.
It's coming.
Do you think the ants will like blood?
Probably.
What? The ants?
Will the ants like the blood?
You want to make an offering to the ants?
Yes.
Well,
with the blood.
Ants eat pasta or no?
Yeah, probably, yeah.
I
Eggshells
want
as
to
well.
offer to the ants.
I'll tell you what, Julian, who was
Because
here the other day, he specifically said that Uncle sends him up to this creek up here to put food there because the dipper, the ant, takes it to the old people. So,
I want to make an offering to the ants.
well, that's good. And I
We have
reckon
some.
put any. I mean, I don't know about this. I don't know about the blood there. I mean,
And I
it's a
forgot
bit.
to
It's a
save
bit
some
skimpy.
kangaroo.
We've got this, Lee. Eggshells.
There's a bit of kangaroo there, Leah.
No.
That cake.
This is
Yeah.
great.
You can do a little bit of cheese, maybe. Up to you.
Some offering anything.
Yeah, I think
Anything.
the pasta's good. And
Pasta?
we can just save that and take it up there tomorrow if you want.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, that's
but
what
not
we
the
do.
blood.
Nah, I mean, put that out here if you want, though.
Yeah, I want to give the blood.
Maybe the
Might bring
dingoes will
dingo
come.
in, yeah. Might bring the wabma in.
Yeah, the smell. Yeah, no, totally. Because you
Oh,
have
wash
to
that.
bury the waste because it brings in the animals, the carnivores. Okay. There's enough blood in the land anyway, isn't there?
You know all those signs that say floodway? I thought about turning it into bloodway.
You should do it. I'm gonna do it.
Put a photo up
Just
there.
that F.
Yeah, yeah, sure.
I want to do it.
Bloodway.
We still gonna make a fire?
Yeah, I reckon, yeah. You into that? Yeah. Alright, well, how about...
Thanks for this conversation, guys. Really happy to be
Yeah,
part of
likewise.
this.
Yeah, amazing.
I'll go get a fire going. Somebody else
can't-
wants to
yeah.
make tea.
Yeah, I can't move.
No, you just lie
I
there.
can't do anything.
You want to lie
I need I don't want to lie down. I just need a back rest. I'm good now. It's good.
Or shall we just clean up tomorrow? What do you think?
No, we have to clean up tonight.
What do you want to clean up?
Plates, dish.
Oh, the
Because
plates.
we have
Because we're gonna keep the food. So
Food, we'll keep this here. Table.
it's just the mice too. So we have to put all the food in the bags, like the bread and stuff in
we'll just put it in the
the esky.
I'll do
Yeah.
the washing.
there's room in this.
Yeah, just for stuff that the mice can get to.
Do you by any chance have like a dish scrubber or something in your
I put a cloth in, but I don't know where it is. There should be one here. I don't know.
They got a cloth here.
Yeah, they've got
Okay.
everything you need.
time is it? 11. Yeah, I'll put these little bits of cheese and stuff in here. You gonna finish your cake, Dr. Rob, or shall we give it to the
Let's offer that.
offering?
Too. It's very rich food.
It's a good one. Oh, perfect. Bin bag.
Thank you for this wonderful blessing, Lee. This is really, you really outdone yourself. Very honored. Very grateful.
I'm blessing you with my tears.
What?
I'm blessing you with my tears.
Oh, yes.
Comes